hi, everybody. I'm Frankie Avalon.
And I'm Ryan O'Quinn. And with us, we have...
Rosalind Allen. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for being here on our podcast.
I wish we
I'm
were
honored.
rolling. I wish we were rolling the 10 minutes before this because we've had such a great conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Among other things, lives. I'm going to call you a bunch of different things today,
You
by the way,
can.
because I've
I have
known you
lots
for
of
a
names.
while.
Lots of names.
Your fans will know you as Rosalind Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I occasionally, along with many of your acting students, call you Roz
Yes.
or Mama E.
Mama E. Mm-hmm.
Her married name is Rosalind Allen-Enciso. So, and I know her husband well. We'll get into all of that later.
Yeah.
So, if I refer to her in a bunch of different ways, you'll know who I'm talking about. But we've discovered off camera that you're in the neighborhood, and she lives close by.
Yeah.
where
I
you
know,
live.
yeah. And you've changed a little bit from acting in front of a camera now. So you're doing, tell everybody what you do now.
Yeah, well, exactly 25 years ago, I just felt, I'm a person of faith. And I believe God works our lives for the good, for a really good reason. And somehow, serendipitously, I just felt like God was calling me into service. And a giant big school based on a Christian model that was being built in the year 2000. And I went over there because my daughter was starting high school at the time. And one thing led to another. And all my previous experience of my life, my 25 years as a professional actress, my degree in education, all of a sudden was being called on, and I got invited to develop a curriculum at a brand new school. And now here I am 25 years later.
25 years later,
Yeah.
and you teach the grades of?
9 through 12, all theater, and acting for camera now.
Acting for the
That's
camera,
a new
yep.
thing that's going on.
So you're teaching theater?
Yes. That's all I do.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do. We're all levels of theater, and our school just recently developed a program called the excuse me, little frog in my throat, Institute of Arts and Innovation, and we have a division of that for acting for camera, and we have film students.
That's wonderful.
And we're in the process of doing a feature film.
And correct me, but you've won awards. Now, if the internet is correct, Tony Awards?
I've been nominated
for a Tony.
Really?
Get
Twice.
this.
Where?
No,
what?
as an educator, not as a performer.
excellent.
Not a performer.
Nominated for 2 Tonys for excellence in teaching theater arts.
In
Wow.
theater education, yes.
So would you be considered a drama teacher?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another way to put it.
But it goes beyond that, right? Not just teaching about being an actor and the characters and this, but you're teaching how to perform in front of a camera, movies and television.
Both
right?
now, yes. So for the stage and for the camera. You're absolutely right, yes.
And the audience, you don't realize what's involved into acting. And of course, you, Rosalind, showing everybody that if you're doing a close up like this, you don't want to move your head because they're going to cut that out.
Yeah.
So those techniques, they're techniques.
They are
aren't
techniques. They are, but the core foundation of what we do is the same, whether it's on stage or whether it is in front of the camera, in terms of revealing who this human being is that you're playing and who they are and what they want and what they dream about, and all those things are the same. It's how we deliver that changes. Yeah.
On that note, Frankie, when you were doing all your movies and all of your TV shows, were you, and I've worked with these guys before, did you ask the DP or the director, what lens are you on? Did you need to know all the time?
Oh, God, yeah.
Are you on a 35?
Well, only because you sit around professional. I mean, I worked with actors that won Academy Awards: Joe Fontaine, Ray Milland, Walter Pidgeon, great. And I just would sit in my chair and watch what they would do. And you learn, like we're just talking about, if you're a close-up, you don't want to move your head, you want to move your eyes, and they'll stay on you. Cary Grant once said to Tony Curtis, who told me, always keep moving, but subtly, But, I would say to the DP, I'd say, I'm going to be here, and then I'm going to come in like this, and he'll measure me, and I know I'm not going to be out of focus. Yeah, the techniques, and that's what you're teaching these young people, which is great.
Yeah.
So, and they're learning that now, which is great. I had to learn on the job.
Yeah, for sure.
Having been with some veteran actors a handful of times myself, I've noticed exactly that. The really sharp ones, in order to, by the way, avoid too many takes or getting out of focus, all those things, they will ask, what lens are you on?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
where are we here?
Yeah.
Where,
Are we a
about?
cowboy?
Are
Yeah,
we
yeah,
at
yeah.
here?
Medium.
Where are you?
All right, so
100%.
two-shot. Yeah, it's important.
Right.
Yes.
Good stuff. Let's go all the way back, Roz.
Yes,
the
I
way
wanna hear
back.
about-
all
yeah.
the way back to New Zealand.
Oh, goodness.
New Zealand, my friend.
New Zealand. Been there.
Have you?
Most beautiful.
It is.
I went from Australia to New Zealand. I flew into. I'll never forget that flight in.
Oh, where'd you fly into? Wellington or Auckland?
I think Wellington.
Wellington, because that is like that. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right off to the water.
Yes.
Right there. is
Yes,
the
that's where I'm
landing.
from. Is Wellington.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then Christchurch. I've been.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Auckland.
Auckland is our biggest city in the
Yeah.
northern part of the country,
Right.
and then Wellington's our capital.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised in a part of a suburb of Wellington called the Hutt Valley. There was a lower Hutt and an upper Hutt, and in between lower Hutt and upper Hutt was Silverstream, and that's where I lived, in Silverstream.
Well, now let
Caught
me
the
ask
train.
this, because
Yes.
now you're bringing back memories to me. When I landed and was in New Zealand there, I was greeted by,
Maoris?
yes.
Yes. Did they do a haka for you?
Yes.
They did.
Would you explain that?
You don't have to get up and do it, although I would like to see that. But
Now, did you ever hear about?
Oh, yeah, I know
Oh,
what it
you
is.
do.
Yeah.
You know
The
what it is, huh?
Maoris are such a beautiful culture, and it's very much the core part of who we are in New Zealand. And it's the Polynesian culture. They originated from Hawaii. They
There you
took
go.
their boats and ended up in New Zealand. So there's a lot of similarities between Hawaiians and New Zealanders, Maoris, Samoans, Tongans. They all have that thread, right?
Yeah, they did the dance. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And so the haka is just part of their culture. I think it originated as a war dance, as a way to intimidate their enemies. But there's also all variations of the haka where it's a welcoming moment, which is what you experienced.
Well, yeah,
I'm sure
exactly,
they weren't
yeah.
trying to scare you off. I'm sure they were trying to welcome
No,
you.
it was interesting.
Yes,
It was
yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
And it's just
a lot of
beautiful.
times, ornate tattoos.
Right,
and just-
right.
Yeah,
Right.
the
Little-
tribal
and
tattoos.
outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
right.
have the tattooing on the face,
Yep.
and that kind of thing. It's a beautiful culture. It really is really
Yeah.
warm and loving. And if they welcomed you, they probably drew you into them and put nose to nose.
Yes,
and took
yes,
a breath
yes,
together,
yes,
so you breathe
yes.
the same air.
Yeah, great.
It's just beautiful.
Well, I do not detect an accent. What happened?
Well, I was born in the States, so
Okay.
I'm American by birth, and we immigrated to New Zealand later on in my childhood. So I had that foundation of a original American accent, I would say, and I definitely came back to America. I came back to America from New Zealand with a strong Kiwi accent, though. And at the time, because I came here in the very early '80s. I was told I wouldn't work with an accent, that I needed to Americanize the way I talked. So I just spent a couple of years just sitting and really just imitating, sitting in front
Listening
of the TV,
and listening and
and
listening, yeah,
imitating
yeah.
and imitating and imitating. And so, and here I am,
Yeah.
so many years later. So I can turn it on. I mean, a little bit. I have to warm up and I have to be with other Kiwis and I'll get it back. But
Oh, I bet it comes right back. as
yeah,
soon as you-
it does.
But I want to hear and tell everybody the credits that you have been as the actress.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you've done so
much.
Ryan?
Well, I want to hear all about it, including from the very beginning. But everything from 3 Men and a Little Lady to Naked Gun to, of course, series regular on Seaquest. I want to get into the Seinfeld thing. I mean, so many
That's a
incredible credits.
lot of work, a
Just
lot of acting, boy.
Big
It was-
body of work. So
it
what,
was good.
what led you to that?
I got very lucky very quickly. Because I was a New Zealand girl that knew nothing about the industry when I came. I literally came to America with a hiking backpack and $1,500.
Really?
That's all I owned. And I met a family, and they invited me to stay with them in Orange County. And I had a couple of opportunities to come into the city. And I would have I would sit in the back passenger seat and I have a notebook thinking, I'm going to see a billboard or something like, if you want to be an actor, call this number. I was waiting for somebody to tell me how to do it. I had no idea how you did it. But I always knew it's what I wanted to do. I was directing plays for my neighborhood friends as a little kid.
All right,
I
yeah.
always knew I wanted to do it. And so here I was in Los Angeles, and I just knew I didn't want to go back to New Zealand without having tried. So I eventually, no billboard led me there, but somehow I found an acting class, a commercial acting class at first. And the people that were leading the commercial class immediately introduced me to agents. They said, you've got to see this girl. I got very lucky very quickly and was able to just, make the transition into commercials initially. My first commercial, my SAG card was a Tab commercial.
Oh, yes.
Diving into Tab, diving into a swimming pool in a red bathing suit, and then I literally did hundreds of commercials over the years.
Wow.
Hundreds. I mean, it was really my bread and butter for the longest time. I went from doing that. I'm trying to think what my first jobs would have been, theatrically speaking. I know my first movie was the movie Perfect with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis. Played a member of the ensemble in that one. And then I think it might have been Knight Rider or... I think it was Knight Rider.
I've seen so many photos of you, with Hasselhoff, with Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah.
You name it, particularly in the 80s.
That's a lot
everybody,
of credits. Yeah.
It was a lot
you
of fun.
worked with a lot of people, a lot of television, both comedy and dramatic roles. But what was the impetus? When did you finally say, okay, I'm not going back home. I'm gonna unpack my knapsack. I think this is home, and I think this is the business I want to be in.
I think if I hadn't experienced the success in being able to pay my rent every month, and that's really what ended up happening. As an actor, if you can pay your rent every month, you feel very successful.
Low bar.
And so I would say it is a low bar, but I lived that. I felt really not knowing much else about anything, finances or anything. I just thought, I am so lucky.
And were you in early 20s at this point when you first?
Early 20s. I felt really successful because I was at that time referred to as the top 10% of the Screen Actors Guild population because I was making a living. I was paying my rent.
Sure.
And so I wasn't ready to give it up. I mean, because everything builds on each other. Everything builds on developing relationships and the next job. And so you feel this impetus happening.
Right.
And I just wasn't ready to go back. So I just stayed. I never consciously made a decision, I'm staying, I'm never going back. I never said that to myself.
Right. And you didn't or did you? Like when I came out, I thought, a year. I'll give it a year. Some people say...
I said two. I said 2 years.
You're a little more generous than I was.
I actually had a plane ticket that took me home in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Which I ended up getting credit for, but I never used it. Yeah.
What was your training? Who were you training with, studying with?
Acting-wise, I started with an acting teacher named Charles Conrad.
Oh, yeah, he was an actor.
He was an actor. I can't really tell you much about him, but I did go on to Sanford Meisner technique and do the
you did Sandy
Playhouse.
Meisner, yeah.
I
started with Estelle Harmon. Remember her?
Estelle Harmon, yes. That name sounds
and also Corey. What was his name?
Corey.
Yes.
Well, I can't remember either. It's many years ago.
There's a lot of acting teachers.
Yeah. And I studied in New York with Wynn Hanman. Do you know that name?
Mm-mm.
No. It's many years ago.
I know.
You were just a baby then.
Yeah. But yeah, Sanford Meisner was a really good influence on me.
I know. Yeah,
really great foundation to build as an actor. In fact, I teach it in my classes now. It's really a great way just to teach actors to be in the moment, whether you're on stage or whether you're in front, in front of the camera.
Well, for you, there were I can pinpoint several I've made it moments, but. Your face at some point was 30 feet tall on a billboard when you did Seaquest. So let's talk about that. What led you to that series?
Seaquest. I remember Seaquest. That was awesome. I remember being cast in that movie and that series and having to leave like that week to go. We were shooting in Orlando, Florida, and I got cast here in LA. It was wonderful. It was pitched to me as Star Trek Under the Water,
Yep.
And Roy Schreider was the lead male in it, and because of him and his desire for me to come on board and be his love interest on the show, the series had been on the air for a year before I came. I think they had a change of direction in terms of casting, and lucky for me, that brought me in to the show. And so we moved to Florida to shoot it, which was remarkable. We shot, at Universal Studios, and we're also in SeaWorld. We did a lot of location shooting in SeaWorld, which was fascinating. Getting in the water with manatees. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was great. I mean, I'm still friends with a lot of the cast. Sadly, we did lose one. Jonathan Brandis was the young man who, on that show, who was just a fabulous human being, and we lost him. But there's other actors that are on that show that I still get to see.
Well, that's good.
And they're all thriving.
And you've done other series too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Before Seaquest, I did soaps.
Soaps! You were doing those, yeah?
I started in.
training that is.
Great training.
Yeah.
I went to New York for one of them.
I was going to say for our audience who doesn't know, please tell us the story. But I also want you to get into the day-to-day, how rigorous that is for a daily shoot schedule. Getting in at 4 or 5 in the morning and it's cold studio. But please tell us the nuts and bolts. I have a friend who's a soap actor, by the way, who calls it the golden noose, meaning I'm making too much money to quit, but it's also I can't do anything else.
It is that. It's such great training. You arrive very early in the morning. The night before, you're given pages for that day. You don't get a lot of time with the pages, and quite often it's up to like 30 pages that you're accomplishing in a day. You go straight to makeup and hair and costume, and wardrobe. You're running lines the entire time while you're sitting in the chair. You go to stage to do a dry rehearsal, and
blocking and all that.
Blocking and all of that. You're still learning lines. For me, I was still learning my lines.
Yeah.
And brought back not long after the blocking rehearsal to shoot it, and typically it's one take. It's just one take with multiple cameras, and it was great training. I mean, I was very intimidated by it. It was a lot.
You know what amazes me? You've done movies and television, but now you finish a day's work, and of course the assistant comes over and gives you tomorrow's work.
Yes.
And you take it home with you. And I got 8 kids, and I'm trying to find a bedroom to where nobody's crying, and I'm learning my lines. Then you get up and you got an early call in the morning, and you go into your dressing room. Different pages.
Oh yeah, you get the green pages or the pink pages,
or yellow pages, or the pink. I just learned that whole thing the night before, and now that's gone. You got to learn this now and go shoot. Okay, and we're rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's wild. We all experience that. It's crazy.
So, audience, it's called the green pages. It's literally that. When they have the ability, they print it on different colored pages, so and there's an order. There's an order of what number script we're on. And so they'll replace the pages with different color pages so you know how it's different. But
it's driving me nuts.
You're right. It's the worst. We're like, I'm walking to set and we've got the green pages.
This
is something I've never seen
before. It keeps you on your toes, that's for sure.
I've done so much of it, and you have, Ryan, and you have also. And, I don't want to do it anymore. No, I don't want to learn anything.
It's hard.
I don't want to learn anything.
I'm doing a student film right now with Brian's daughter, actually, and just today I had to learn 9 pages. It was 9 pages we shot, and
Is it difficult
I will
now?
discipline her.
It is so hard now.
I know. That's
so
why
hard
I don't
now.
want to do it.
It's like a muscle, like going to the gym, but you have to retrain that muscle. Because I used to do 30 pages, no problem. You develop almost a photographic memory. Yeah. You do. But now,
I know.
Yeah.
I have pictures where I had to play 2 parts, 3 parts, or this, that. Then you change. All of a sudden, you change. Here's one thing I got to tell you about in traveling and all this. I'm under contract to the Sands Hotel, and I'm doing 7 days a week, 2 shows a night.
Wow.
And I'm doing a film at the same time.
What?
Yeah. I'm doing a picture with Cesar Romero and a great cast. It's called Sergeant Deadhead. And I'm playing 3 roles in this thing. In the meantime, comes to my show Sammy Davis Jr. And he says, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" So I tell him exactly what I'm doing. He said, "And how are you going back and forth, this and that?" Because I'm shooting every day. And I said, "Well, I wait because the last show's at 12 by the time I'm off. I wait because there are no real later flights. But I have to get up. I have to stay up. You don't even sleep. And I get to the studio, and then I fly back after my 5 o'clock to make the 8 o'clock show." And that's it. He said, "I got it, man. Here's what you do. When you finish your second show, go right outside the stage door, get in an ambulance. I have the company." He says, "Lay down on the cot and tell the driver you want 6 to 7 hours to get back. When you get back to the studio, go into your shower up there, do your work, fly back, do your shows. And after the night show, next morning, take an ambulance." And I did that.
You did
for the whole shoot, yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
I don't
That
think you
is
could do that
amazing.
today. You couldn't hire.
Well, I was 6 years old or something. No.
Wait a minute.
No,
what don't I know
I
here?
had to
Hold
be
on.
I must have been about 24, 25 years old.
Wow.
What a trick.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is
a way
I
to
can't even imagine how do you accomplish that?
I was young. You're young. You got all the energy. You got everything. And that was my way of life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And did you rented the ambulance in that case?
Yes.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. There was a company that Sammy used because he did the same thing because he was going. Sure. Sammy did a lot of pictures and all this other stuff, and he had this remedy and it really worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's one of the beauties of hanging with Frankie Avalon because, again, he just has these stories that he just
I'm
pulls
so
out
honored to be sitting at a table with you.
Are you?
I am, yes.
Oh, jeez.
You are a legend.
I've been very lucky all these years. And there's a lot of stories only because I've been around. When you're 85 years old.
Are you 85?
Yes, 85, yeah.
When's your birthday?
September the 18th. I
you
just turned 85.
September
yeah.
23rd, right here.
Oh, okay.
So are you a Virgo?
I'm Virgo. You're not. You're
I'm on
over.
the cusp of Virgo and Libra.
Right.
It's important, Ryan.
It is. It's important stuff.
It's very
yeah.
important.
I'm almost there myself. Nowadays, okay, so you're working on soaps. I've asked Frankie the same question, but I'll pitch it to you now. When did, or was there a moment, or was there a time when you realized people are starting to recognize you from shows, and whether it was the soaps or from whatever, all of a sudden people are asking for autographs, people are taking photos, or they know that you're you. What was that like?
Well, for sure, soaps in New York. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but in New York, there's just a different kind of cultural. You walk down the streets in New York, and they're calling my name, my character's name. Noel, you don't talk to that man. He's not good for you. Don't talk to him. And at this stage of the game, everybody's recording the shows and watching them at night when they get home from work on their VCRs.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And they all have advice. And that's when it started for me. I couldn't go down the streets of New York without being called out and being given advice.
By your character name.
My character name. Mm-hmm.
It's strange. It's a funny feeling. We've gone through it. How people know you from this, that, and come up to you, want your autograph.
When did it happen for you? When did it start?
Oh, God, I was young. I became a teen idol.
You were a teen idol. Of course you were. Can I touch you?
But it started even before that. I mean, at that ripe old age of 9, this guy was on, the Jackie Gleason show. So
I was a trumpet player. I was a musician. But when the notoriety came about, it was in my contract. I had to have 9 policemen to be with me at all times. You couldn't go to a restaurant. I was in that. There was Elvis, there was Ricky, and there was Frankie. They were the first 3 of that teenage thing, playing in front of 10,000 people, and girls screaming, crying, and it was an experience, but a great one. Yeah. But you enjoyed it, and you have to enjoy it.
It's fun, no matter what level you're at. I was never at any kind of level that you were at. That's incredible.
Well, I never got upset about it. I just didn't know how to handle it. It was more, and I'm sure with you too, and you too, Ryan. It's embarrassing. You don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Totally.
You don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I heard a funny story recently where Steve Martin, who apparently is just the most lovely human, you may know Steve Martin.
I've heard that.
But there was a time when he lives in Beverly Hills, and he would try to go about his business and go to dinner and go to stores, and inevitably people are coming up to him all the time. So he made some business cards. And when someone would come up and ask for his autograph or his photo, he would hand them a business card, and written on the business card it said, "This is to certify that I officially met Steve Martin and found him to be funny, charming, witty, and attractive." And his signature.
That's cute. Yeah.
So he would hand them out, so he could go back to his meal, go back to his family. They got a souvenir with his autograph, and so he would hand those things out.
I love it.
Lucille Ball, I did her show a few times.
Wow.
She was a lovely person, and when I would be with her if we were out somewhere, people would ask for her autograph. She said, "That'll cost you $0.25." And she would take the $0.25 and save all these quarters and give them to charity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was her thing.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to ask about your jobs that you did, outside of acting as you were coming up. And I'll tell you, speaking of Lucille Ball, triggers one of my jobs. I was a tour guide. So the only thing I could figure out when I first moved to L.A., I tried to be a waiter, tried to be a server. That's what most people do in L.A. and New York because it gives you some semblance of flexibility, and you can always have somebody cover the shift for you. And if you book something or get an audition, you can sort of get out of the thing. I had no experience waiting. I didn't have the resume to back up because everybody that was vying for these same jobs had a long resume history, or maybe they lied about it. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't that good of an actor and I just couldn't lie well enough. But the only thing that I could figure out that I could do well was run my mouth. So I got a job as a tour guide. And I started working for a tour company, and I would drive the 28-passenger bus, and I would give tours of stars' homes in Beverly Hills and Bel Air.
Yeah.
And
That still happens. It still goes on, right?
We'd go to Universal, but there was a story that was circulated amongst the tour guide lot, and I'm pretty sure it's true. But it was about Lucille Ball, and she lived, as you know, Frankie, she lived in the Beverly foothills. She wasn't behind the gate. She wasn't up in Bel Air. You could actually drive down Cannon or whatever the street was, and actually go up to her house. Years ago, there was a tour guide who had the nerve to actually pull up in front of her house, not only point out her house, but open up the doors and let everybody get out.
Wow, yeah.
So the tourists filed out of the bus. People were walking around in her flower garden up front. Somebody had the nerve to pick flowers and start taking the flowers out of her garden in front. One person went up and had the gall to ring the doorbell. Here's the story. Apparently, Lucy came to the door. She was lovely. She was extremely cordial. She was amiable. She was nice. She took pictures. She signed autographs for everybody there. They filed back onto the bus. She waved goodbye, went straight back inside, picked up the phone, called the mayor of the city of Beverly Hills, reported what happened. The next day, the Beverly Hills City Council called an emergency session and passed a law that is still on the books to this day, apparently, called the Lucy Law, saying that no commercial vehicles over 20 passengers can go through the city of Beverly Hills without a permit. And you cannot stop.
Wow. And that's
So it prevented exactly what happened. But apparently she was just so sweet and so charming and did what she was supposed to do.
What a gracious way to handle it.
Yeah. But again, a little bit of an invasion. And by the way, trampling the flowers.
No,
let's not do that.
Wow.
Ross, I want to ask you, did anyone of any stature or whatever give you any advice in your profession?
Gosh. Yes. I would say, I think you spend a lot of time, especially in your youth, trying to figure out what everybody else wants. Right? You just spend an enormous amount of time trying to figure out, how do I audition for this? What do they want? When I get the job, what do they want? As opposed to just, I learned very early on, it was actually, do I name drops or do I not name drops?
Yes, name drop, for crying out loud, yes.
Well, two things. There's two people, actually. But Kevin Costner was somebody that I knew at the time, and he gave me the advice of just bringing yourself to the role. One of his greatest attributes for his own career at the time, and maybe still true now, is that he always found a way to play the character truthfully by bringing himself to those imaginary circumstances and finding his way and trusting that was going to be enough. And in his case, of course, it was. And that was great advice. And I've always taken it on ever since, that I am enough. That's my starting point, not trying to figure out what they want, but let me bring what I can.
Great advice.
Yes, it was great advice.
Talking about Lucy, great advice. I'm in Vegas again playing, and she comes to the show, and I introduce her. And she comes backstage, and she says, I love you, I love you. She really liked me a lot. I loved her.
I love that.
And she said, but I got to tell you this, take that number out. So I said, Lucy, what number? The one about the kids. I said, Lucy, in my show, I'm trying to bring something that will be poignant. The lights come down, and I sing this song. She said, I don't want you to take it out.
Wow.
I said, why? She said, do you know how many people are in your show watching you sing that song that are going through what you're singing about, and it's not pleasant? Tell you why. The song I'm singing was a Sonny and Cher song. And it goes, you'd better sit down, kids. I'll tell you why, kids. Your mother and I, kids, don't see eye to eye, kids. It's about a divorce.
Yeah.
She said, do you know how many people are out there that are listening to that, and they're going through a divorce, their kids, this, that, whatever? I went, Lucy, thank you. That was advice
Great
I'll never
advice.
forget.
Wow.
Great advice.
Great advice.
Wow.
Speaking of going backstage after a show, Frankie, we talked recently about you were in Broadway. You went to Broadway to watch Jonathan Groff do, the Bobby Darin show about one of your friends. When you are performing and you know that there is a person of note in the audience, there's a celebrity in the audience, do you expect them to come back and say hello? And do you yourself
Absolutely.
go back every time?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. They're your peers.
Yeah.
And they come back to you. And most of them are very nice and cordial. Except one guy. I won't mention his name.
Except one guy.
Go on.
And if I did mention his name, the world of our business would say, "You're right, Frankie."
Yeah.
And he came back and said to me, "Geez, I like those shirts. So who makes your shirts?" Geez, I like that. Never said anything about my show. No. I don't care if not say it's good. Frankie, I didn't like this. Frankie,
Yeah.
Sure. But no, you expect them to come back, And they do.
Yeah.
We all do.
That had to be an amazing show. Jonathan Groff.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh, I
And
love
of course,
it.
I
he
related
knew
so
Bobby Darin.
much to it.
Wow.
Jesus, Bobby and I
Wow.
were roommates.
Oh, really?
And he died at 37 years old.
37.
What a
Wow.
time. We were kids together on those bus tours doing 91 nighters, He was losing his hair.
Are you writing all this down? Have you written a book?
It's on the
my
podcast.
book.
This is the book.
This is the book.
This
'cause
is the book.
I mean, the stories you must have.
I sure do, with all those guys. The beginning of rock and roll and,
Mm-hmm.
the black, the white, the whole situation. I went through all that stuff there. I see the progress, even in with our lives today. And these automobiles, my father used to say to me, "Frankie, don't ever get electric windows."
Why?
Because they break.
You gotta have
Don't
the
ever
crank.
get electric windows in your car.
Have you been in a Waymo? What are they?
The self-driving cars?
Self-driving cars?
No.
I haven't either.
I want
Have you?
to.
I have
want
not, but they're all over
to.
the
I
west
want
side.
to. Yeah. Oh, that's coming. That's really coming. Yeah.
Well, my son-in-law just recently got a Tesla, which I'd never been in one before, but it was a self-driving Tesla.
Yeah.
It freaked
one.
me out.
Oh yeah, we
you
use it all the
haven't?
time.
Okay.
Isn't it
Oh.
something?
It's crazy.
I utilized the summon feature the other day, and it was funny because I could see my car. I came out of the mall. My son and I came out of the mall here close by, and we'd parked the car. We went in, and a few minutes before coming out of the store, I turned on the air conditioning, and I turned on. This is so lame, but I turned on the cooling seats so the seats would be cool. It's hot outside. Turned on the AC
From your
in there,
phone?
from my phone.
From your phone.
And then we walked out onto the sidewalk in front of the mall, and then I pressed summon, and it's got 12 cameras, by the way, around the vehicle, and I just held it down, and so I could see the car backing out, and the car came to us. But the best part was the lady who I could see in the parking lot, 150 yards away, who was watching my car drive itself over to us, and she's trying to figure out
Figure it
what in the
out.
world is going on. This
Isn't
car
that
is driving,
amazing?
but yeah, it will
I would
come
be
to
that
you.
woman. I'm still not used to it. I can't comprehend
Yeah,
it.
it's we have full self-driving. So we were down by LAX over the weekend, and I, starting with backing out of the parking spot, I never touched the wheel from the time I told it where to go.
What kind
back
of car
home.
was it?
It's a Tesla. So I went back home to Calabasas, and whatever how long that is, and never.
And
touched
that's,
it.
of
Never
course,
touched
that's
it.
Musk, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, it is.
that's his
It
company.
is.
The technology is unbelievable. I have a friend who's in his late 80s and was a director for many years, and he's been around the business for a long time. Wife recently passed away, and I met him for dinner over here at an Italian restaurant in Camarillo. And he showed up in a new Model Y. And my other friend who was meeting us for dinner said, "Oh, I didn't know you were driving anymore." He said, "Oh, I'm not. I have this car." So meaning, I just told it where to go and I pressed the button. So he sits there.
That's incredible. And I heard, I don't know if you know this, but if you're not looking at the road, even though it's self-driving,
Yep.
if you take your eyes away from the road, something happens.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. There's a camera
Something
inside the
blinks
vehicle.
or something like that. I heard
Yeah,
that.
it will
yeah.
tell you to pay attention.
Don't you
and
get
then
warnings, things that
you
you
get
get-
warnings.
you get warnings?
And I tested it out with my other one. I tested it out just to see what would happen, and now I know. But if you don't respond and you don't move the wheel a little bit and you don't act like you're paying attention, the car will look around, make sure there's nothing going to happen bad, slam on the brakes, and immediately slam on the gas to wake you up.
Really?
And then you're locked out of self-driving for the rest of that trip. So until you stop and give it a break and prove that you're capable of doing this, you can't use self-driving anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Progress.
I'm too old for this.
Me too.
Any conversation with Rosalind Allen cannot end without talking about Seinfeld. We know you as the It Girl. There were so many great episodes, needless to say, working with that incredible cast and with Jerry. I'm sure you call him Jerry. But you know, when I talk about Roz or brag on Roz more appropriately, everybody knows you from that episode. So, Frankie, well, you can tell it, but I want to hear all about it. You're in one of now. Seinfeld was on obviously for many years, but there are just a handful of episodes that you can point to that were quintessential Jerry Seinfeld episodes. That was just typical Jerry.
Yes.
You played George's girlfriend.
Yes.
You're in the marine biologist episode.
Yes.
Talk about that. The audience will know which episode that is, and tell us about that hysterical moment. And I would say television history. It goes down in the annals of one of the funniest episodes of television ever.
It's one of those gifts that keep on giving when it comes to that show. I'm so glad I did that show. And we, Jerry himself said that's his most favorite show.
Yes, I've heard him
He's been
say that.
interviewed
That's
and
right.
said it's his
Wow.
most favorite one. So being cast in that, I felt really, really lucky. I remember auditioning for Larry David and for Jerry. At the time, I remember there's some really gorgeous model-style women auditioning the same time as me. So when I got the role, I was very surprised. It was just so much fun. We shot most of that episode on location. The only time I was on set for that was the ATM machine scene, which was set, it was on CBS a lot. The other parts of it we shot at Point Dune, on the beach there near Zuma.
Yep.
And it was just fun. It was just so much fun. The most fun I had, I definitely had fun working with Jason Alexander, who was my acting partner for that show. He was just a gracious, kind man, and he just gave so much in the scenes, and we had so much fun doing them. But watching the other actors in their scenes, when the live audience come, they come in, and so
I see how they're doing.
yes, and it was just fascinating to watch them work because no take was ever the same twice.
Oh, I bet.
And it was just completely unpredictable. And then watching that really famous scene where they're in the diner. This is on set, where Jason Alexander is giving his monologue about, because I don't know if you know the episode. You may not.
No, I
but,
don't think so.
Describe it. Yes.
Well, so it's just, it was nominated for an Emmy for the writing as well because it was just brilliantly put together. So let me see. So we have Kramer, the character of Kramer was learning how to golf. Correct. So it was all about his golfing, and he was just a master class in watching an actor work because, again, you never knew what he was going to do next. So the storyline goes that he was playing golf. The other part of the storyline was that I bump into Jerry Seinfeld, and I went to school with him, and I ask about George, who's Jason Alexander's character, and he lies and tells me that, he's doing great. He became a marine biologist. So we are cut to later on. I agree to a date with him, and we're walking along the beach, and there's a crowd of people at the beach, and they're all yelling about something that they see in the water, and apparently there's a stranded whale out there, and they're calling out for a marine biologist. Anybody here a marine biologist?
I find it right there.
And I look at Jason and I just say, save the whale, George, for me. And so he goes out into the ocean to save the whale, and then the monologue later in the diner is where I can't even repeat his dialogue, but just how he brought all those circumstances together. The ocean was angry that day.
Right. Oh, yeah. What it took.
Yeah. And he pulls out of his pocket the golf ball.
The culmination was Kramer had hit a golf ball into the blowhole of the whale.
Yes. So it was brilliant.
It is.
Well, those
such a
shows,
good episode.
you were not lucky. You were talented to get the roles and to portray your character in there.
Yeah, it was
all those
fun.
guys were so good. The writing was so good.
So good.
It just you never know what is going to happen when you're doing something like that, and all of a sudden it explodes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it explodes and it's there. You're just there. It's like Frankie and Annette, all the beach party things that we did. we just knew. I knew from the very minute the opening scene of that, where I had to pull up in this old car and take her and put her in my arms and ready to. And I say, "We're here together." And I kick open the door, and there's all the guys and gals in there. What do you do? I was just going to be alone with her. This was going to be my moment. You know?
Sure.
But after that scene, I went to the director, Bill Asher. I said, "Bill, this is going to work."
Bill
And the kids,
Asher?
yeah.
His son Brian was my neighbor.
Is that right?
Yeah. Go ahead though.
I love Bill Asher.
Yeah.
What a talented
I Dream
director.
of Jeannie as well. He did all those shows.
Oh God,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was Bewitched.
Bewitched. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Bewitched.
right. Bewitched.
But he was a funny guy and had a great sense of humor and put those things together with some great writing. And we had a ball. I mean, we would do 20, 25 setups a day. You know,
Wow,
we made
that's
those
a
pictures
pace.
in 15 days.
Did you
Oh, my
really?
Yeah, 15 days. And I would go to Bill. I say, Bill, I don't think my character, Frankie would say, he said, just go and have fun. Come on, get the next setup. Come on, let's go. That's how we did this picture.
They need to
yeah.
bring this stuff back. I mean, we need to present all of this to a new generation because that's just classic,
Yeah.
it's magical,
Yeah.
Great
filmmaking.
Americana, yeah.
It just is Americana, all those
Well,
things.
there were so many morals.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And
lines like,
And
I've been
innocence.
in a car. Yeah, I've been in a car. She said, not until you put that ring on me.
Sure.
I mean,
Yep.
we had morals, and I was always flirting with somebody else, and getting apart, and then back together. It was simple. It was great.
yeah.
It was fun stuff.
I love that.
We're so thankful for that, for your career, sir, and for your career. Thank you so much for all you do.
Well, thank you.
I'm biased because you are you teach my kids close by here at the school they go to, and you're just always lovely and always with a smile on your face. And we're
thank you.
so thankful that you saw fit to steal a little bit of time out of your
Yeah.
day to hang out with.
Yeah, I
Frankie
appreciate
and
it. Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
on.
Thank
and
you.
Continue doing what you're doing and helping people learn what this business is all about.
Thank you.
And from you, because you're so professional and have done it so many years, you're the one to teach them.
Oh, thank
So
you.
that's great.
Thank you. Well,
Thank
it's been
you.
such an honor to be with you, and I'll
Thank
remember this forever. And if you ever want to come to the next generation and talk to them at school, you're always invited.
I would like that.
Absolutely.
It's right
Can
around
make
the
that
corner.
happen.
Yeah.
Why not?
Would you?
They would say, Frankie, who?
No, they wouldn't.
No, but that's part of the fun, though, is
Yeah,
to
that's
teach
right.
them that and then
Right.
let them do their
Yeah.
homework.
And you know what? We'll get some clips or something like that. We'll put a little thing
Absolutely.
together. That'd be fun.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's make
Okay,
that happen.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Well, thank you,
Cool.
Roz.
Thank you. So welcome.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for joining us again on the Frankie Avalon podcast. And I'll leave you all with a little thought, and that is, if you ever run into someone who isn't wearing a smile, give them yours. And the world will always smile with you. Bye.